Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 6 of the James Hart Be a Pro Rugby League Live 3 Career Mode. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be taking on the Brisbane Broncos first up, followed by the New Zealand Warriors. So, I'm sort of got mixed opinions on what this episode might entail in terms of, we're taking on the Broncos and the Warriors. Broncos got some pretty good players, in real life, pretty good side. Not really sure how they're reflected in the game, though. I think in the game, they're not even really that good. And also, the Warriors, everybody knows they're really, really good in this game. They've got a lot of overpowered players. Their wingers, the fullback, everything. Tompkins is a god in this game. So, interesting to see how we go. In terms of team lineups, you can see there we've got like Adam Clydesdale and, some more weird selections. I don't know what the hell Des is doing, but he's just rotating the squad around a lot. And I think it's actually hurting us a lot. Last episode was pretty poor in results. We've had more poor results episodes than we have good results, so it's disappointing. But we are going to take on Darius Boyd here as James Hart opens the scoring for the Bulldogs yet again. But James Hart, individual try there, and it's actually nice to get one up on Darius Boyd, because every time we take on Darius Boyd, he just runs us down, and he actually was running us down just then as well. But we did cut back inside perfectly, and Trent Hogginson, who's back into the side, he slots the goal. So good stuff to have Trent back on the side. See there, we just hit the ball with James Hart off the inside pass, which is what we're going for right here on the receiving end of another little offload there, and that's what I like to see. Not too often do we get passes from offload, but so far we've been on the end of a couple. I mean, I know the first one was a call for it, but I mean, that was not something where we're just calling for the pass straight from the dummy half. So that's what I'm liking to see. In terms of offloads, we've got an offload of our own here, which creates a bit of a chance here for the Bulldogs. If we do turn it over, and Broncos ended up getting the ball, and directly after that very next play, there was a little bit of a cut in the gameplay, but that was just to save a little bit of time. We did see the Broncos coming with the line break, and as a result of that, obviously the field position was there, and Jordan Drew ends up scoring a try. He is someone that we're well aware of, because he came through the 20 system with the Broncos. We've taken on him a few times, so we know that he's a pretty solid player here, and we get driven back. I don't know who that's by, Alex Glenn. I don't know who it was, but we're driven back a fair few meters here. But we do get a pass here. I don't know if we call for it or if it's just an offload, but it is a foot race between Darius Boyd and James Hart, and James Hart looks to be the winner there. They do go up to the video ref, and it is a try every day of the week there. So James Hart scores his second try of the game, and that's very, very good news there for Bulldogs fans, because we extend the lead. And Trent Hogginson also kicks the goal, so awesome stuff there. And James Hart is having one of the best games he's ever had in first grade. Last season was a little bit of a disappointing one in terms of try scored, but he's actually looking to be a bit of a star player this year, so it's a good thing Bulldogs got him on board, because I think he's having a really, really good season. But speaking of like how good he's been playing and getting one up on Darius Boyd and that sort of stuff, and then Darius Boyd just takes it straight around him, easy as, and all that happened because we committed to the tackle. We pressed the X button, that sort of stuff, and ended up committing to the tackle without actually being able to make the tackle, which is quite annoying, and it does result in it being a 12-all halftime scoreline, which isn't exactly what we wanted, especially after we've played and we've scored 2 tries. I don't know if we can actually score any more tries than that. I mean, you don't see too many people scoring hat-tricks all the time and that sort of stuff, but it is going to be a brilliant start to the set, or a start to the second half I should say, as Josh Reynolds, he kicked a 40-20, but unfortunately we couldn't do anything with it. I'm pretty sure we turned it over quite cheaply, but Broncos, they're looking at turning it over quite cheaply as well, and it was James Hart who came up with the tackle to cause the error there. But third tackle, we got great field position there, and so we had a pretty nice run, making a fair few meters, but it is going to be us on the ball there. And you see we're doing a bit of ball playing there, getting it out to the wide men, and they cut it back in field, and James Hart takes it up to the line, and he dishes it off to what looks like Trent Hogginson, but that's not where the play's going to end. Hogginson was actually absolutely smashed there, but James Hart's take to the line, and he's going to power his way over there for his third try. It's not the typical try you see from James Hart. We're used to those long range efforts or just backing up on the inside, that sort of stuff. But this time he powers his way over, and that might be an indication of what's to come this season. Is that a new thing that James Hart's going to introduce into his game? And he's looking for a 4th try here. He's got Darius Boyd ahead of him. He's going for the corner. He's pinned the ears back, and that is the 4th try for James Hart. And you'd have to say that has just sealed the game for the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs. There is less than 20 minutes to go, and we've got a 12-point lead. Oh, sorry, we've got a 10-point lead as Hogginson misses the goal there. That's a little bit disappointing. But yeah, I really can't see us losing, especially after James Hart scored 4 tries, and not too many teams lose games after having a person score 4 tries in a game. But we aren't done there with James Hart. You see they're now reverting to ball playing, and I just wanted to show these sort of clips, because I mean you might be under the assumption that we just grab the ball and just run it all the time, every single tackle and that sort of stuff. And while we do get the ball, probably more than what we maybe should, we're definitely not just grabbing the ball every single time and just pinning these back and trying to run through and hoping that we get a try. As you can see here, even then we make a break, we end up passing it off. James Hart, he isn't a selfish player. He will pass it off if another player is in a better position than him. So just wanted to point that out. And a 212 game there by James Hart. That's a great performance there, 22-12. And yeah, a four try game, we only get 212 points or whatever it is. So we thought we might have got a little bit more than that, but because of all those tries and the performance that we've had in general lately, we've just been building up to go up to another rating, and we will eventually make our way to 82 rating. So we're getting really, really close to being one of those elite sort of players, I'd have to say. I think the elite players probably like 87, 88 upwards. I'm not sure, it's third season, so maybe they're more in the 90s now to being like the real elite players. But you know, we're pretty comfortable in the 80s at the moment, so I think that's the most important thing. And you see they were working on footwork as well, which is pretty good. Although we've like maxed out sprint speed and strength and all that sort of stuff, to get your speed even higher, you need to go for those sort of stat increases, the footwork and agility and that sort of stuff, because they all add up. They might only get little bits of speed, but I mean, in the end, you need to be doing that. So that's exactly what we've been doing. But we've been sort of trying to make our person into an all-rounder, so we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, which is currently what we sort of have. And we sort of you know, we paid for it in the first season, but it's all coming good this season. And it's been, you know, plenty of highlights in this second game. I haven't even talked about this game at all. The Warriors, obviously, a really, really good side, and they started off the game pretty well. As you know, we've been okay, but it's not been the best in terms of errors for our side, it's just killing us at this stage. You can see it's pissing down rain here, and just another error from us. So been defending for pretty much the first 15 minutes so far, and it's not going to let up here. It's Warriors, they're attacking, and there's another line break there, and James Hart comes up with a tackle around the legs there. We didn't want to stuff around, get pushed off or get palmed off, just like that player did there, which results in another chance, and we are going to hold them up over the line. Not James Hart, but the Bulldogs. And there's fourth tackle there. They get to the outside. Can we make a tackle? Yes, they can. James Hart comes up with another big tackle there, and he's held up over the line. That's the second time we've held a player up over the line. And then yet again, another try saver there. We did have Josh Reynolds there to help, possibly if something went wrong, but it didn't, and we did survive. So 25 minutes in, we had another run, and it was just pretty much calling for the pass, just looking for a little bit of a counter attack there. I know it's typically a rugby league term, but it's what I like to call it when there's a bit of broken play and we just go straight on the attack. But right here, another try saver. Oh my god, what a tackle that was. That was money, that tackle. Unfortunately, this one wasn't. Around the legs, not exactly the best. It wasn't one of those diving ones, but it was one of those ones with the animation, you know, they're going to score either way. And it was really, really annoying to eventually concede after defending so well for so long. But, you know, 4-0, it could be worse, and maybe it just gets us out of trouble a little bit. Now, right here, I got to say, you might have seen him get absolutely hammered with James Hart, but and he got flattened, all that sort of stuff. But you know what? That's not even that bad. It just showed the commitment to the side, that he's willing to take a hit, try and inspire the lads. And I got to say, it was all over the footy shows and that sort of stuff. It was, you know, top 5 plays of the week and that sort of stuff. And I think it might have even made it to the front page of Reddit. But yeah, James Hart, he's had a pretty solid first half. The team, Bulldogs, actually been pretty good. It's just a matter of us holding the ball, and we should be good. But James Hart here having a pretty solid run there, and then dishing it off to the wingers, and that was an intentional cutout pass, I believe. But fifth tackle, we call for the ball, and we decide to just run it, and we end up being rewarded for that as we score a try. Tompkins was in no man's land there. Don't know what he was doing, but we just take advantage of the short numbers as the wingers drop back, and the defence line sort of spreads out a little bit. So, and as you can see here, yet again, another gap here. We are going to be taking on Tompkins. We pin our ears back for the corner. Can we cut inside? Yes, we can cut inside, but there is a tackle by the cover defence. I think that might have been Sean Johnson or someone, but that was good stuff there by the Warriors cover defence. But you know what? It's been good work there by James Hart as well. And right there, tried calling for the pass, didn't actually come off, and that was a try gone begging, in my opinion there. But here's another try goal begging for the Warriors. They just needed to draw and pass pretty much, and that happens a lot of the times. But James Hart comes up with a few good tackles. That second one was a beauty, that one that just happened there. picked him up, lifted him, but not lifted him over the horizontal, and another tackle there. So that's 3 in a row there. He's completed the hat-trick of tackles, and he is some great ball playing there, sort of drawing our defender. We sucking them in and then send it out wide. It's just unfortunate that the wide players don't seem to be able to hold the ball. They always just have to pass it for no reason. But right here you can see us, James Hart, just once again just coming up with offloads, and on the receiving end of offloads and that sort of stuff. And we are going to follow it up by chasing down the kick, and it was straight down the throat of the Warriors winger, but it was a pretty decent kick chase, so not too many meters made. And you see right here they get very, very lucky to end up holding on to the ball. I think it was the Warriors who ended up getting the ball, but we held on, and here another gap was opening up, but I believe it is Sean Johnson who has the pace to more than match it with us, and we're probably not going to run straight around him or run rings around him. So I mean, it's all nice, it's all well and good to have that gap open up, but there's not really much chance of us doing much with it. Although we're going to continue to take it, because hopefully, he might just be not paying attention one time and we can go through it unscathed. But 65 minutes in, it is the Warriors still in the attack, and they're offloading at will now. It's pouring down rain, and it doesn't seem to be too many errors for this second half, which is a bit strange. See right here, we threw a dummy, which is something we don't do generally too often, as we do it 2 clips in a row there, and we force a pass, which is actually a knock-on / forward pass there. So terrible stuff there from James Hart, and that just shows the inexperience. It just shows that he's trying his best. He's trying to do everything for the side, because the side isn't doing too much. And I should mention we actually have a 2-point lead. It is late on. Are we going to fall victim to a very similar game a few games ago, where Joel Reedy ended up scoring in the end? It isn't quite the same, because there's a little bit of time left on the clock there. But Sam Tompkins just goes straight over our opposing number 1, and that's really, really annoying, as the Warriors hit the lead and they actually kicked the goal this time. So they got a 4-point lead with about 4 minutes to go. So we'll do well to pick up any sort of try here or anything, and we're so unlucky to not force Vadavai over the sideline there. But James Hart tries his best, and is that a forward pass? Yes, it is a forward pass / a knock-on. It is called a knock-on quite often on this game, but it was a forward pass and a 4-point loss. So disappointing. But I got to say, James Hart's been carving them up lately. Obviously the Broncos game absolutely destroyed them. Warriors game still scored a pretty nice try then. I think we played pretty well. There was a few tries that gone begging in that game, so it's a game of what could have been, I think. But you know what, we're not playing too bad. That's the main thing. Anyways, that's where the video is going to end. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at MrLukeYT, Facebook page in the description below. Twitch channel is also in the channel below as well, in case I'm live streaming. And my second channel is also in the description below. If you want to click on that, it's Gaming with Mr. Luke. So once again, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye, guys.